Hi and welcome. You know, I bet you love digital photography just as much as I do. The ability to be able to upload images to Facebook and Flickr and share them all over the world instantly like that. It's a truly an amazing feat of technology. But sometimes it's a good idea to be able to take a step back. Take a deep breath and consider making your own photo book. Your hands and your eyes, they'll love it. They really will. And in doing it, it will in part probably make you a better photographer because you'll have to look at your images in a critical way and in a different way, in a storytelling way. And in doing that, your photography, I think, will benefit greatly. And in some of the lessons you'll learn in actually creating a book, it'll make your second book even better. Well, Lightroom is geared up to help us do just this thing. So let's see how it's done. My name's Ken Fisher and this is LiveLink Training. Okay then, well, let's make a start. Now the first thing we need to do is to get organised. We need to get our images into some form where we can use them. So we're going to use collections. Now we're going to be making probably more than one book. So we're going to need a collection set to keep all the different projects in. Okay, so let's do that first. So I'm going to go to my collections panel. And you can see here that I'm going to create a collection set. And I'm going to call this book projects. And then I'm going to click create. And you can see now that I've got an empty collection set. Well, don't worry, we're going to put something in it in a minute. But it's called book projects. Now if we look up in as folders here, I've got 3 folders I'm going to be working with. I've got one for Pickering, which is some images I took at the 1940s weekend a couple of years ago. And I've got a couple of folders with some images in at different times I've been to York. Okay, so let's start off with York. I've got images in different folders at the moment, which is a bit of a problem if I was working in, say, Photoshop, but not for Lightroom, because we can use collections. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to go down to my collections panel again, and I'll click the plus icon and I'll click create collection, and I'll rename this one York, and then I'll click create. And here I've got an empty collection set now called York. So now I'm going to go up to my York Visit 1 folder and I'm going to select all the images in it, and I'm going to do that with a keyboard shortcut, Control or Command A. If you remember A for all, then that's going to select all the images in that folder, and then I'm going to click and drag them down and drag them onto the York collection. So now I've got all those 11 images in my York collection, but I need more. So I'm going to go to my York Visit 2 folder. And again, same thing, Control or Command and A. I'm going to select all the images and I'm going to drag them down and drop them into that York collection. So now I've got all 21 images in my York collection. And that's great. But now I might want to make another book. So I've got some images here from Pickering. So let's click on that and have a look at them. Yeah, I think they look good and they would make a nice book. So let's make another collection. But this time I'm going to select them all first. So I'm going to press Control or Command and A to select all the images. And then when I go down to my collections panel, you can create a new collection by either clicking on the plus icon, or if there's a keyboard shortcut of Control or Command and N. And just think of new collection for that N. And then we can give it a name. So I'll type Pickering in there, which would make sense. The location, well, I want it inside my collection set called book projects, so I'm going to put a tick in there and select book projects. well, there's only one, but if you had more than one project, there'd be multiple ones in here to select from. And of all the images selected in this folder, so now I can click on include selected photos. I don't need virtual copies, target collections, or to sync with Lightroom CC. So I'm going to click create. And here now you can see I've got a new collection called Pickering with 19 photos in. So we're now cooking with gas. But now I sit back and think, well, I wonder what all these Pickering images would look like if I made them black and white. Would that make a better book? Well, I can do that quite easily. So I'm going to make sure that all my images in my Pickering folder or my Pickering selection are selected, which they are, all of them are. So I'm now going to create a new collection. So I'm going to create a collection, and in this one I'm going to call it Pickering BW for black and white. I'm going to put it inside the collection set book projects. That's where it needs to go. I'm going to include the selected photos, but what I want to do with these is make them into virtual copies, because I don't want to overwrite the original ones. I want separate images. So now I'm going to click create. So here now I've got a new collection called Pickering black and white, but they're not black and white, you might say. Well spotted. For that I've got to go into the develop module. So first I'm going to select all these images, again Control or Command and A, and I'm going to take them into the develop module, and I can do that by clicking on the develop here or just pressing the D key. And once I'm in the develop module, I want to make sure I'm in auto sync down here. So you have a little toggle switch where you've got sync and you've got auto sync. Well, I want to be in auto sync because what I want to do to one image, I want it to do to all the images. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the basic panel and I'm going to just click on the black and white button. And you'll see what that'll do in a second. It'll render each one of these images out now. It's nearly done as a black and white image. Is that not cool? So let's go back to my library module, and we've now got 19 colour photos with the odd sepia one in from my Pickering escapade. We've got exactly the same photographs, but now they're all virtual copies and we've converted them all to black and white. And we've got 21 images in my York collection, all ready to create a book. So there we are. What I'm trying to highlight here is that before you begin your book project, it's a really good idea to get organised, to collect your images together, get them into a collection, and get several different projects into a collection set. Okay, well, that being said, I think we're ready to go to start and make our book, and we're going to do that in the very next video. I'll see you then. Bye for now.